With the prices of houses currently selling at Ikoyi between 300 million to 700 million, and price of houses around Banana Island selling between 700 to 1 billion, and houses at Ikate, Chevron, Orchid for a fully detached, you are going to be spending above 100 million. And even the places that a lot of people were even reluctant to buy before, around Aja, or even places at the border town of Lagos, houses are already selling around 35 to 50 million. You may start wondering, why are there so many expensive houses in Lagos? In this episode of Meet the Property Guy, we'll be looking at and analyzing the reasons why houses in Lagos are getting more expensive and why the prices are not coming down anytime soon. If you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is the Meet the Property Guy property channel, and this is where we discuss everything real estate, either you want to buy, invest, or sell a property here in Nigeria. I would advise that after you have watched this educative guide, you also go to our previous videos. You are going to learn a lot. So let's look at why are there so many expensive houses in Lagos. Now, the first reason why there are so many expensive houses here in Lagos is cost of land. Now, the cost of land in Lagos is rising very fast and is not even showing any sign of coming down or even being steady anytime soon. And the reason why cost of land keeps rising in Lagos is when you look at the available land space in Lagos is shrinking every day. Even there are some places here in Lagos, around places like Ikeja, Surulere, to get a bare land is very rare. So in a place like this, if you want to build, what you are going to do is buy a building, demolish it, and then start erecting a new building. This will always raise the cost of houses. This will always raise the cost which they are going to be selling these houses after they have completed it. And some places, some part of Lekki also, there are no, you can't see a bare land anymore. Most of the land where developers are building is swampy land that they sand field and they start building there. So the cost of sand filling, the cost of recovering that land, either from the lagoon or from the river, is also going to increase the cost of houses and the cost of construction. So these are also part of the reason why houses are getting more expensive. Because when you look at the population of people staying in Lagos, and you look at the number of people that are also migrating into Lagos daily, then you see that there is a big problem in terms of the available land space and the available people that are inside Lagos already. So as more people are coming into the city, and as the population of the city also increases, the available land space will be reducing, and the cost of this land space will keep going high, which will also translate to the cost of houses that are also going to be selling in the city. So as cost of land goes up, cost of houses are also going to continue going up. One reason why there are so many expensive houses in Lagos is high demand. Now, with the high population of people in Lagos, there is an extremely high demand for houses in Lagos. Not just from people staying in Lagos, millions of Nigerians that are also staying abroad in the UK, in the US, also want to buy a house or build a house in Lagos. So the extreme high demand for accommodation and houses in Lagos also will continuously raise the cost of these houses. Around last year, some of the houses that were selling around 38, 40 million are currently now selling at 50 million, 52 million, and people are still buying. So most estate companies and most estate developers will be comfortable to raise the cost of house prices because they know that people are still going to buy. So when demand for a commodity is particularly high and supply is limited, prices will continue to skyrocket. That's why it makes a lot of sense for you to invest in places where people are not moving yet. Places like Epe, places like Ibejuleki, where demand is still relative. Because at some point, the demand for housing will also move there, and the prices of those places are also going to skyrocket. Places like Ikate, Chevron, Orchid, Ikota, around Aja, demand for houses in these places are already high, and prices of houses also are extremely very high in these places too. But most places where demand are not high yet, prices are going to be stable, and those are places that you should try to invest now and wait maybe for the next 3 or 5 years where demand are going to rise there and prices are going to rise. There is no place in Lagos which you should ignore, because demand for accommodation and demand for houses are still going to also rise there too. Now, the third reason why there are so many expensive houses in Lagos and price of houses keep going up monthly, daily, and weekly is the cost of infrastructures. When you are buying a house in Lagos, around 30% of the cost of the house is for the land. Around 20% to 25% is the cost of building the house itself. That's around 55% already gone. Now, 25 to 30% of the cost of that house is for the infrastructures that are in that area. And the reason being so is because most of these infrastructural developments are not done by the government. It's either done by the community or done by the estate developers. And they are always going to include the cost of these infrastructures in the house they are building. In a lot of places, houses are supposed to be selling around maybe 35 or 40 million, but houses are selling around 70 to 80 million because it's the estate developers that did the drainage, it's the estate developers that did the electrification, the central water system, the street interlocking, the security gates, the beautification, the greenery, and all those. And they are always going to add this cost to the land, especially places in on the island where even it's the estate developers that are going to sand fill, do the estate layout, and other very important infrastructures like that. So they are always going to add this cost to the house that they are selling. So as long as the government are not doing enough, the last but not the least reason why there are so many expensive houses in Lagos is inflation. It's already well known that the inflation rate in Nigeria is very high. This is also one of the reasons why cost of houses and price of houses are also going very, very high too. Because when you build a house this month and you spend around like 20-25 million to finish the construction, and within 3 to 6 months you want to build that same house again, you are spending around 30 to 32 million to now build that same house you built earlier. You are going to see that a lot of people are also going to continue raising the cost and the price of the houses that they are selling. Now you may wonder that, but when they are building these houses, the cost of material is not this high then. Now it's not just about the cost of material, you also need to look at the value of money. Because if 50 million naira this month, in a couple of maybe 6 to 8 months is no longer worth that 50 million again, then most estate developers and estate companies are also going to raise the cost or the price of the house also to match the current inflation rate at that time. Because when they sell these houses, they are also going to reinvest that amount in building houses in another location or in another estate. So as long as the cost of inflation in Nigeria keep going up, the price of houses will also keep going up also. In the space of 6 to 8 months, some houses can rise with as high as almost 8 to 10 million, and even some places houses can rise as high as 20 million within a year. It's all because of the very high inflation rate in Nigeria, and that's why even if you want to obtain mortgage, the mortgage interest here in Nigeria is also very high, because these mortgage banks also want to ensure that the amounts they are financing you when you are repaying the cost of inflation inclusive, that amount that's going to make profit from it. Because if they are charging you very low interest and the inflation rates have already gone higher than the interest rates they are charging you, it means that they are making a loss. So these are just one of the reasons why the housing market in Nigeria is a bit more complex, because when prices of materials, when prices of these construction materials are not stable and they keep going, they can go up almost at any time. It also means that house prices are also going to be very, very unpredictable, and house prices are also going to continue going up, which is also one of the reasons why houses are getting more and more expensive in Lagos. What are the solutions and what are the available opportunities? Now, because of the volatile nature of our market here and the unpredictability of the housing market, there are a lot of opportunities for investors, particularly in buying off-plan. There are a lot of off-plan that you can buy, maybe pay a deposit of 3 billion to 5 million to key into the amount, and in a number of months, maybe in 12 to 8 months, those prices can go up as high as almost 10 to 12 million. A lot of people are already doing that and just doing buying and resell. Most of the houses here in Lagos, you don't even have to buy to stay there. There are a lot of opportunities for you to invest there. And for the people that are on a modest budget and don't want something that is too expensive, regardless of the location in Lagos, especially places that people are not moving in mass yet, and places that demand have not gone so high, prices will be stable in those places at least for the next 2 years. start buying those places for investment. It makes a lot of sense. So that by the time that demand rises there, you can enjoy what you have invested there. Now, if you still need further details and you still have some few questions about what we have discussed in this topic about houses getting so expensive in Lagos and why there are so many expensive houses in Lagos, you can always reach us and consult us on our WhatsApp number on the screen. I see many about property on the planet, your property advisor, your property consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks for watching.